So the ball itself, the internal machine ball, is absolutely perfectly spherical to reduce and limit any chance of any water leakage, any air leakage through the system. The industrial ball valves are available with either EPDM or FKM seal rings, again, depending on the application. And both the industrial and water ball valves have dual O-rings up here to the top on the stem seat, below the handle lever, to provide additional security here as well. So they're very, very high quality valves. This is a picture of the standard double union water ball valve. Exactly the same characteristics. Rather than having a PTFE seat here to protect the ball seat, it's a standard polyethylene ball seat. This is available in just EPDM seals rather than the FKM seals, but characteristic-wise, very, very similar to the industrial ball valve that we saw on the previous page. The only difference between the two, visually, is the industrial ball valve, if we go back a page, has the orange handle, and the standard water ball valve has the blue handle. So the visuals of the application, as we touched upon, we're getting increasingly involved with chilled water for data centers. This is very prevalent in the UK, in the Netherlands, and I look after Northern Europe as well. So I look after Scandinavia, and there's some very, very large data centers that are being currently constructed in Scandinavia. So that's a big, big marketplace for us moving forward. Likewise, agriculture for filtration purposes. Again, I know that's very, very big in the Netherlands. Both PVC and ABS used widely in the applications for filtrations in agriculture. Swimming pools, I know, is more, not so much in the Netherlands per se, but we do a huge amount within swimming pools across other parts of Europe, France, Spain, so on and so forth. And water treatment and dosing for things like osmosis is another very, very big, just admit that person, is another very, very big part for us. So water treatment is still a very, very key area for us. You can see here, these are the industrial double union ball valves being used here, and you've got the standard water ball valves being used here. Conversely, over here, you have flanged valves here, and the industrial valves being used here, obviously alongside full FAST, PVC, and ABS systems. So in terms of the company itself, why use FAST? So FAST is a very well-known brand name that I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, be familiar with. We have proven product reliability. We have a wide range of both PVC and ABS systems. Critically, from your perspective, one of the key things that we've done over the last 18 months is we've had an initiative to make sure that our top selling 300 lines are always available from stock. That's being managed from our team in Italia, and since that initiative has been put in place, it has had a massive effect on our service levels, because it means that we can obviously supply things quickly, efficiently, as and when you and your customers need them. Every now and again, there'll be a time whereby one or two products may be out of stock, but critically, what we will do is we will make sure they are dispatched and shipped as soon as possible. But having the top 300 lines available has been very, very important for us to improve our service levels. In terms of the outstanding customer service and the speed of dispatch, I'd like to hope that the Rowan and the team over there will testify to the fact that the team in Italia are very, very quick in terms of how they come back with their order confirmations, anything that's out of stock. So you can obviously advise your customers in advance, and you can pre-plan the deliveries coming in far, far better. On-hand technical support. Unfortunately, I know this week hasn't been a good example of this because I wasn't able to come to the Netherlands because of the weather. But I will look to be in the Netherlands at least 3 to 4 times every single year now. And when I do, Walraven will always be my priority to visit whenever I come across. So moving forward, what I'll do, I always communicate with Rowan and make him aware when I'm coming across. And if there's any questions or anything that arises in advance of me coming through or coming across, if you're in the area, please come and meet with me. I'm very, very happy to come and sit down with you, have a further discussion. Not a problem at all. Any technical support, any certifications, any technical drawings that you need, I'll send all my details through so you have my email address. Anyone can contact me whenever they wish. I'm on hand to provide you any support that I can. That also applies with obviously product training for specifiers, your installers, and if further advanced training is needed for yourselves and any of your team, please let me know because hopefully when the weather improves, I can come back across and I can actually give a more definitive training when I see you all in person. So this is what I had hoped to deliver in person when I came across the physical training aspect. Unfortunately, obviously, I'm able to do that at this stage, but this information here details very, very clearly the simple process for installing pressure plastics. It's a very simple process to follow. I can forward this again to any of your customers, any specifiers, any consultants you like to be dealing with, and have communication with them on your behalf. So, and then obviously feed that information back to you to secure the order. I'm very, very key and very, very hot on working with people to obviously build that long-term relationship. So use me as an extension of your sales team to meet with you guys individually or together as groups, go and see your customers together and show that strength that we work together with Walraven to support you moving forward, to push the products forward into the marketplace. So a brief overview of how to install the products. It's very, very straightforward, as I say. So first and foremost, cut the pipe at right angles to the required length. You would then use a pipe deburrer to then obviously shave off any loose edging that's come as a direct result of cutting the pipe. You then use a pipe chamferer, illustrated here, or something similar, to chamfer the pipe internally to give it a smooth decreasing bore inside so it's ready to insert into the fitting or valve. What you then look to do, once that's been done, is use some sandpaper or an abrasive grit paper and rub over the externals of the pipe and the internals, if my cursor comes, so the externals of the pipe here and the internals here to roughen this surface to give it what we call a key. We would then insert the pipe into the socket to give a required depth. So I know it doesn't show it in this picture here necessarily, but you insert the pipe into the fitting to give a required depth. You then take a marker pen and then mark around the pipe so you know exactly where the correct depth mark is. So the pipe has been inserted correctly into the fitting before the actual solvent process has taken place. You would then take some lint-free cloth, so just a loose rag or some damp cloth, and make sure all the pipe surface has been cleaned of any grits or anything that's been left behind. What you then also use is our F-Fast solvent cleaner. So you clean the internal of the pipe and the external of the pipe around here to make sure it's completely degreased and ready to receive the solvent cement to give it the best possible chance of it, or the solvent cement curing and bonding as it should do. At this point, you then obviously take the solvent cement. The solvent cement, if some of you may have already seen, it has like a little brush in the pot and on the end of like a little end cap thing. So what you then do is you would then apply the solvent cement to the internals and the external where you've already roughened previously. At that point, you would then insert the pipe into the fitting, to make sure the depth mark has been reached. So as I say, it's very, very important that obviously the solvent cement is used on the external and the internals of the pipe. The interesting thing to note here at this point is when you push and insert the pipe into the fitting or into the valve, it is very important that the pipe is not twisted as you insert the pipe. It is pushed straight through rather than a twisting action. The reason being, when you insert the pipe and you push the pipe straight through without twisting it, the solvent cement has a smooth surface over the entire length of the. Where's my cursor gone? Bear me 2 seconds. Sorry. When you insert the pipe straight through without twisting, the solvent cement comes all the way down the sides of the pipe here. So it gives a smooth bore all the way down. If you twist the pipe as you push it into the fitting, what happens is the solvent cement, rather than moving down the side of the pipe here and giving a smooth bond, the solvent cement is pushed this way into the fitting or into the valve here, and it decreases the chances significantly of a solid, reliable joint. So if you can take nothing away from the training session today, the one thing I will advise you remember is when you insert the pipe, make sure it's pushed in squarely and centrally and it is not twisted through. Down here it is shown that we can see the holding time before the pipe is moved. On the smaller bore pipe, you only have to hold the pipe in place for maybe 30 seconds. Between 2.5 and 4 inch, you're probably looking at just under a minute. 5 inch to 8 inch, hold it for about a minute, and 10 inch to 12 inch or 250 mil to 350 mil, hold for about 2 minutes in place before you look to move it and insert it into position. As I say, apologies again for not being able to show you the practical demonstration because it would have been a lot easier doing it that way. But as we know, the weather was against me on this occasion. Hopefully that's given a bit of an overview, at least a bit of an insight and an overview to the products themselves and how to install the system. As I say, I'm on hand here to provide any technical support that I can. Hopefully I'm looking to come across and rebook in the physical training session in August, all being well. So at that point, I'll be able to deliver the training in terms of the practical demonstration a lot more clearly. So apologies again for that, but hopefully that's